गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जननंदन यशोदनंदन व्रज जननंदन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Gauranita Shri Gauranita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Devam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pujapadivaacharya Ashtottara Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON founder Acharya, Beauty founder Acharya, Savior of the whole world, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivikacharya Ashtottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki Sakshat Vairagya Murti Gaur Kishoredas Baba ji ki सच्चिदानंद भक्ति मोहन ठाकुर की, वैष्णव सार्वभौम जगन्नाथ दास बाबू जी की, श्री रूप सनातन रघुनाथ भट्ट रघुनाथ दास गोपाल भट्ट जी गोस्वामी की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, तुलसी महारानी की, प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की, नृसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री श्री राधा गोविंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया सुदर्शन चक्र की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, मायापुर धाम की, नवदीप धाम की, वृंदावन धाम की, गोवर्धन की, राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की, अयोध्यापुरी धाम की, द्वारकापुरी धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गोलोकेर प्रेमधन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की, श्री प्रभुपाद जन्मस्थान कोलकाता धाम की, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, Jai Guru Shri Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Verse 20. Tatraikavayam, tatraikavayayam, dhyayet, tatraikavayavam dhyayet, tatraikavayavam dhyayet, avyucchinnena chetasaha, avyucchinnena chetasa, mano nirvishayam yuktva, mano nirvishayam yuktva, tata kinchana nasmaret, tata kinchana nasmaret, padam tat paramam vishnor, padam tat paramam vishnor, mano yatra prasidati, mano yatra prasidati, tatraikavayavam dhyayet, avyucchinnena chetasa, mano nirvishayam yaktva, tata kinchana nasmaret, padam tat paramam vishnor, mano yatra prasidati. Devotees can decide. Tatraikavayavam dhyayet, avyucchinnena chetasaha, mano nirvishayam yuktva, tata kinchana nasmaret, padam tat paramam vishnor, mano yatra prasidati. Abhyucchinnena chetasa, Hare Krishna. Word to word meaning Tatra, thereafter. Eka, one by one. Avyavam, limbs of the body. Dhyayet, should be concentrated upon. Avyuchinnena, without being deviated from the complete form. Chetasa, by the mind. Mana, mind. Nirvishayam, without being contaminated by sense objects. Yuktva, being doubted. Tata, after that. Kinchana, anything. Na, do not. Smaret, think of. Padam, personality. Tat, that. Paramam, supreme. Vishnu, of Vishnu. Manaha, the mind. Yatra, whereupon. Prasiddhati, becomes reconciled. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, you should meditate upon the limbs of Vishnu, one after another, without being deviated from the conception of the complete body. Thus the mind becomes free from all sense objects. There should be no other thing to be thought upon, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is the ultimate truth. The mind becomes completely reconciled in Him only. Hare Krishna. So before going to purport, we will offer Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Supadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So now Sukadeva Goswami is started his conversation with Parikshit Maharaj in the second canto. Okay. Now, what a dying person should do. So he started telling how he should practice bhakti, and now he tells that after giving up everything, one should go to a secluded place and start meditating on the Lord. Okay. To control the mind from sense objects. Okay. So it is just like what Krishna told in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So how one should meditate? So one should meditate, is telling, upon the limbs of Vishnu, one after another. Okay. But he should not miss the point of remembering complete body. Okay. Means he should not be attached to only one limb of the Lord. One after the another, you should focus, remembering that limb belongs to the complete form of the Lord. Then, by this, what happens? The mind becomes free from all sense objects. That's what Sukadeva Goswami is telling. Okay. Then there should be no other thing to be thought upon. Okay. Because Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the ultimate truth. Because whatever we are thinking, whatever we are desiring, we get it from Him. Okay. In this world, everything is asat, and we are thinking we will get happiness from some material objects. But even whatever we are perceiving in this world through our senses, Krishna tells Rasoham Apsa Kaunteya, you are perceiving the taste of water. But Krishna tells, I am that taste. So that is why He is the ultimate truth. See, whatever quality we are perceiving in this world, that quality is coming from Krishna. Okay. So that is why we have to approach the source. If you get the source, we already got everything. And it tells, the mind becomes completely reconciled in Him only. Is whatever satisfaction mind wants, it can only get in Him only. So we'll see in the purport what Prabhupada is telling. Foolish persons bewildered by the external energy of Vishnu do not know that the ultimate goal of the progressive search after happiness is to get in touch directly with Lord Vishnu. Okay. The personality of Godhead. So we are all souls. We are looking for happiness. Anando mayo vyashya. Okay. But we should know, okay, like here Prabhupada is telling, foolish people bewildered by external energy of Vishnu do not know that the ultimate goal of progressive search after happiness is to get in touch directly with Lord Vishnu. Only when we get in touch with Lord Vishnu, we get that complete happiness. Otherwise, whatever happiness we are getting, they are all temporary. And they only lead to misery. Vishnu Tattva is an unlimited expansion of different transcendental forms of the personality of Godhead. And the supreme or original form of Vishnu Tattva is Govinda or Lord Krishna, the supreme cause of all causes. Yeah. So Vishnu Tattva has many forms. Like mainly primarily they are said in Vaikuntha there are 24 forms of Vishnu. 24. Actually Sukadeva Goswami himself tells, I think ahead of these shlokas, like how the changing of this Shanka, Chakra, Gada, Padma. There are four things are there, Shanka, Chakra, Gada and Padma. By changing of these four things, we get 24 forms of Lord. Okay. 4 factorial, 4 into 3 into 2. Okay, 4 3s are 12, 12 2s are 24. Like that we get 24 forms. Okay, what are those 24 forms? When we do full Achman, we recite those 24 forms. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha. Okay, then Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Madhusudhanaya Namaha, Om Trivikramaya Namaha, Om Vamanaya Namaha. First comes Vamanaya Namaha. Then Om Sridharaya Namaha, Om Rishikeshaya Namaha, Om Padmanabhaya Namaha, Om Damodaraya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha. Okay. Om Sankarshanaya Namaha, Om Pradyumnaya Namaha, Om Adokshajaya Namaha, Om Narsimhaya Namaha, Om Achyutaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Upendraya Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Krishnaya Namaha. So like that we get 24. 12. And extra 12. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Purushottam. When we do Achman, okay, so we purify all the limbs. Yeah, we do only Om Keshvaya, Narayana, Madhavaya, Govindaya. So full Achman, we purify all the limbs of our body. Okay. So means the positions of these four will differ. 4 hands are there for Lord Vishnu. In these 4 hands, when these 4 things change, then you get 24 forms. So, but the supreme or original form of Vishnu Tattva is Govinda or Lord Krishna. Okay, from whom all the forms are coming. Okay, so that's what is telling that we should. So Govinda, the name itself says that one who satisfies the senses. When we satisfy him, he satisfies our senses. And one who satisfies the cows. One who gives pleasure for the senses and pleasure for the cows. So that is why we get pleasure only from him. Because he is the reservoir of all pleasure, reservoir of rasa. Okay, he can give us pleasure. So the name itself, and that is why he attracts. He has that pleasure. He attracts all the living entities. Krishna. Okay. Therefore, thinking of Vishnu or meditating upon the transcendental form of Vishnu, specifically upon Lord Krishna, is the last word on the subject of meditation. This meditation may be begun from the lotus feet of the Lord. One should not, however, forget or be misled from the complete form of the Lord. Thus, one should practice thinking of the different parts of his transcendental body one after another. Here in this verse, it is definitely assured that the Supreme Lord is not impersonal. So he is a person, he has, similar to us, he has also have limbs, but his limbs are transcendental. Our limbs are not transcendental. They are subjected to threefold miseries. Okay. And we become bewildered, we become affected by the 3 modes. He doesn't get affected by the 3 modes. He is a person, but his body is different from those of the conditioned person like us. Okay. Otherwise, meditation beginning from the Pranava, Omkara, up to the limbs of the personal body of Vishnu would not have been recommended by Sukadeva Goswami for the attainment of complete spiritual perfection. So that is why his limbs are transcendental. Otherwise, he could not have mentioned. So the Omkara is the transcendental sound. Similarly, his limbs are transcendental. Okay. So that is why when we meditate on the transcendental limbs, we can also transcend the mind. Mind is attached to material things. So if we want to transcend, we have to meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord. The Vishnu forms of worship in great temples of India are not, therefore, arrangements of idol worship, as they are wrongly interpreted to be by a class of men with a poor fund of knowledge. Rather, they are different spiritual centers of meditation on the transcendental limbs of the body of Vishnu. Okay. So this, maybe that is why if you go to South India, they show with a lamp different limbs of the Lord. So this is the feet, this is the navel, this is the thighs, this is the face of the Lord. So one can focus nicely. Okay. So they are not idol worship. These forms, okay, they are made from Shastras. So they are mentioned in the Shastras how the form of the Lord looks like, and according to that, the deities are made and they do the prana pratishta, then they worship the deities. The worshipable deity in the temple of Vishnu is identical with Lord Vishnu by the inconceivable potency of the Lord. So that is why. By his potency, by his achintya shakti, inconceivable. Achintya shakti means by our chintan or thinking, we can't understand. Means we try to think based on our knowledge, material knowledge. So with that material knowledge, it can't define the spiritual things. Okay. For understanding the spiritual things, you should have spiritual knowledge. So that is why it is achintya. We can't conceive it, but it can be described in the Shastras. So we accept the Shastras, and that's how we get the understanding. Therefore, a neophyte's concentration or meditation upon the limbs of Vishnu in the temple, as contemplated in the revealed scriptures, is an easy opportunity for meditation for persons who are unable to sit down tightly at one place and then concentrate upon Pranava Omkara or the limbs of Lord Vishnu, of the body of Vishnu, as recommended herein by Sukadeva Goswami, the great authority. So that is why people wants to always, because the senses are active, we are active, okay. It is for us to sit in one place and just meditate on the Omkara is very difficult. Because only one who is in Sattva Guna, one who can, that is why to do all this meditation, first thing what he has to do, one should give up everything. Means he should one should give up the home and go to a secluded place. With minimum facility, actually almost no facility. Okay. Then only he can start. That is why even before coming to dhyana, meditation, that is the seventh anga of dhyana. There are 8 limbs of meditation, 8 limbs in the meditation process. Okay, so first 6 limbs he has to do the activities so that he can come to the platform of dhyana, 7th stage. So, and before that, he has to give up everything. He has to go to a secluded place. As described in the 6th chapter, how one goes to a secluded place, okay, goes to a very clean and neat place, arranges a kusha mat, okay, the mat should not be too high, too low, sits on it, and he should sit straight, his neck should be straight, head should be straight, he should close his eyes not fully open, not fully closed, and he should try to see, try to focus on the tip of the nose, and then start chanting the Omkara mantra. Okay, like that. So, and you should do it for hours together, not that for us, for sitting for half an hour or 1 hour is so difficult in one position. So that is why for a neophyte, okay, especially going to temple and doing service for the Lord, when you do service for the Lord, when you, like for example, especially decorate the Lord, and after that you go and see, oh, how is the decoration? Then immediately that meditation is more superior than the other meditation. Because why it is superior? Because there is attachment. With even in half an hour time or 1 hour you do whatever decoration, then after that when you see a relationship with him. Because you did a service, you develop attachment with that person to whom you do service. And you have different eyes after that. Okay. And moreover, Lord is personal. He reciprocates. So, after doing that service, similarly, like if you see, after doing that service and seeing the Lord, you can remember the Lord for a long time. That is why everyone has Ishtadev. How the Lord becomes Ishtadev for the family people? Because they are serving every day. Every day they are seeing the Lord's form. Then that is why for them he becomes the Ishtadev. Similarly, we see like temples like Tirupati. People stand for hours for darshan with one point in mind: when I will get darshan of the Lord. And the darshan is only for few seconds, not even minutes, less than a minute, some 20 seconds or like that. But just when they see, after waiting so much, and when they see the darshan of the Lord, oh, I got the darshan, they become so ecstatic. So that's how, that is why the Bhakti Yoga process is very easy. The process and the goal both are same. Whereas in other things, Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, there is certain process is there, the goal is there. Like in Dhyana Yoga, the Ashtanga, you see, when you come to the 8th limb, the Samadhi, then you are not concerned about other limbs of the Dhyana. Okay? Because once you come to the Samadhi. But in Bhakti it is not like that. The process and the goal are both same. Whatever the process which you adopted to achieve the Lord, and once you achieve the Lord, you follow the same process, but with higher consciousness. Yeah. So Prayojan, once you get the Prayojan, love for Lord, then again you serve the Lord with love. So then further. So that is why it is very easy. Okay. So once again, what Prabhupada is telling will wait. Therefore, a neophyte's concentration or meditation upon the limbs of Vishnu in the temple, as contemplated in the revealed scripture, is an easy opportunity for meditation for persons who are unable to sit down tightly at one place and then concentrate upon Pranava Omkara, or the limbs of the body of Vishnu, as recommended herein by Sukadeva Goswami, the great authority. Of course, they also, in dhyana process, in meditation, they have to meditate on the Vishnu form of the Lord, Chaturbhuja form of the Lord. Not that they can't, they should not meditate whatever form they like. That is not dhyana, that is not Ashtanga Yoga. In Ashtanga Yoga, you should meditate the Lord, the Paramatma, the four-handed form of Vishnu. Yeah. But that's what he is telling. So compared to that one, this bhakti process is very easy. The common man can benefit more by meditating on the form of Vishnu in the temple than on the Omkara, the spiritual combination of AUM, as explained before. There is no difference between Omkara and the forms of Vishnu. But persons unacquainted with the science of absolute truth try to create dissension by differentiating between the forms of Vishnu and that of Omkara. So that is why one is the impersonal and one is personal. Okay? But both are of lords. But people with less intelligent people, they do differentiation. Here it is indicated that the Vishnu form is the ultimate goal of meditation, and as such it is better to concentrate upon the forms of Vishnu than on impersonal Omkara. The latter process is also more difficult than the former. So that is why Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, okay, to meditate. Okay. In 12th chapter he is telling just that. क्लेशो अधिकरतस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्त हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवाद्भिर् अवाप्यते. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Okay? So that is what I am telling. Advancement is difficult. Okay. Then what is telling? And to make progress is also in that discipline is also difficult. Because that's what we can't. We are persons. We like to meditate on persons. It's as simple as that. Okay. We can't, that is why we all always look for persons. Okay. We can't go to a secluded place. We can't. If seclusion was so superior, then everyone could have gone to forest and lived in seclusion. We want relationships. Okay. So that is why. So this Bhakti Yoga, worshipping the Lord, meditating on the Lord is easy, on the personal form of the Lord. Just what he is telling about this thing. Actually, Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Krishna replies, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. You have to do so many things. Control the senses, you have to be equally disposed to everyone. Okay, you should be engaged in welfare of all, then one achieves it. But for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, we'll see the same things are mentioned. Meditation on the form of the Lord by Lord Kapila in the third canto when he is explaining about devotional service to Devahuti. Oh. So this is Kapila's instructions on devotional service, Canto 3, Chapter 28, verse 22. We'll just read what are the benefits. We'll read directly the translations. The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of a thunderbolt, a gourd, a banner, and a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orbit of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. So what it removes? It removes the thick gloom, the ignorance from one's heart. So basically it mentions about what are the benefits you get. 22. Then the blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy waters of the Ganges, which has its source in the water that washed the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's feet act like thunderbolts hurled to shatter the mountain of sin stored in the mind of the meditating devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time. So it removes the sin stored in the mind of the meditating devotee. Okay, whatever sins are there or sinful proclivities are there in the mind that are destroyed when we meditate on the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord for a long time. The yogi should fix in his heart the activities of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods and is the mother of the Supreme Person, Brahma. Okay. She can always be found massaging the legs and thighs of the Transcendental Lord, very carefully serving him in this way. So that's why, see how Lord Kapila is telling for us. Like Krishna is telling, he is just giving the principles. And he is telling, yes, you meditate, you get this benefit. Similarly, you can meditate on the pastimes of the Lord related with the lotus feet. That is how Mother Ganga is coming from his lotus feet. That's how Mother Ganga is called Charnamrita. Similarly, Mother Lakshmi is serving the Lord by massaging his legs and thighs. Then, next the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the personality of Godhead's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. So his thighs are the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue, like the luster of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his ankles. Okay. So his thighs, then his hips, okay, and which has, like you see, Lord has a cloth. He has a dhoti, and on the dhoti near the on the waist, he has another cloth. Yeah, you see over there. Okay. So covering the hip. So one yogi should meditate on these things. The yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of his abdomen. See, that's what we see also. Mother Kunti, Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Mangre, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namo Pankaja Maline, and Samo. Namaste Pankajani. So she is meditating on different limbs of the Lord. That is, pure devotee does like that. The yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of his abdomen. From his navel, which is the foundation of the entire universe, sprang the lotus stem containing all the different planetary systems. Okay, so you can understand, take the darshan of the navel and understand how the creation came from. Brahmaji came, and that's on the stem all the 14 planetary systems are situated. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resemble a pair of most exquisite emeralds, and which appear whitish because of the rays of the milk-white pearl necklaces adoring his chest. Hare Krishna. Okay. So then, the yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the abode of Goddess Mahalakshmi. Okay. So, Srivatsa. It is. There is a line also that represents Lakshmi Devi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. Hare Krishna. So chest gives transcendental pleasure and satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the personality of Godhead, who is adored by the entire universe. Okay. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustuba gem, which hangs on his chest. Actually, ahead of these shlokas in this chapter, second canto, first chapter, Prabhupada mentions in the purport or in the shloka it comes. On the Kaustuba, that locket, okay, there is this Surabhi cow or Kamadhenu cow. Means the mark of cow is there on that locket. So it is so dear, like Lakshmi Devi on the chest and cow. Okay. Then the yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's forearms, which are the source of all the powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments which were burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's discus, the Sudarshan Chakra, which contains 1000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch which looks like a swan in his lotus-like palm. Panchajanyam Rishikesha. So it looks like a swan, so white. And discus Sudarshan Chakra has how many spokes? 1000 spokes. Okay. So that is why. And his hands as full powers, okay, are the sources of all powers of the demigods. So from Lord's arms, the demigods are getting power. Okay, like that one has to, just when he says, he has to relate with all these pastimes. That's how you can spend more time. Okay. The yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Kaumodaki and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons who are always inimical soldiers and is smeared with their blood. One should also One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees with their nice buzzing sound. Okay? Oh, sound I say buzzing. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklaces on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in his service. So Bhagwan ka jo moti ka haar hai, okay, that is representing the pure devotees who are always engaged in his service. So Bhagwan kya kya dharan kar rahe? Lakshmi Devi, गाय शुद्ध भक्त, ठीक है, और आलोल चंद्र कलसत वनमाल्य वंशी रत्नांगदम प्रणय केली कला विलासम. Okay, so same thing. You go to different scriptures, all scriptures say only one thing. So that is why how the Lord should look. Shyamam trivanga lalitam niyata prakasham Baraha Shamasitam Buddha Sundarangam, peacock feather, reed bending form, okay, garland with the pearls, pearl necklace, Kaustuba jewel, okay, all these things are. Then ahead. The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord, who represents his different forms in this world out of compassion. The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord, who presents his different forms in this world out of compassion for the anxious devotees. Okay. His nose is prominent and his crystal clear cheeks are illuminated by the oscillations of his glittering alligator shaped earrings. वो होता है ना कि मकर का ये रहता है, तो वो हिलते रहे तो ऑसिलेट जब करता है तब चीक्स और भी चमकता है. लसत कुंडलम. The yogi then meditates upon the beautiful face of the Lord, which is adorned with curly hair and decorated by lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. Okay. A lotus surrounded by swarming bees and a pair of swimming fish would be put to shame by its elegance. Okay. So Bhagwan का जो सुंदरता है, ओके, उसके सामने लोटस भी और पेयर ऑफ स्विमिंग फिश, वो दोनों क्या हो गए, उनका लज्जा आ जाएगा. भगवान का ब्यूटी उतना अच्छा है. ओके. The yogis should contemplate with full devotion the compassionate glances frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threefold agonies of his devotees. His glances, accompanied by loving smiles, are full of abundant grace. Hare Krishna. So that is why. Tamuvacha Rishikesha prasanniva bharata senayorvayor madhye vishidantam idam vacha. So Lord Arjuna is in Vishada. Okay, he is anxious. What will happen? He is confused. Lord is Prahasanniva, is smiling. That smiling glance, what it removes? It removes all the anxiety. Okay, so that is what he is telling. So that is why Lord every time, whenever you see these things, it comes everywhere. Similarly, when Sukadev Goswami, when Vyasadeva meets Narada Muni, Narada Muni also smiles on Vyasadeva. Means when he tells, just about to write Bhagavatam. Okay, so this smiling, okay, Lord's smile or devotee smile, this removes the threefold miseries. Okay. So that is why by taking the smile means darshan of the smile of the Lord removes our anxieties, the shoka. A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Sri Hari, a smile which for all those who bow to him dries away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. That is why, na? Okay. Rishikesha, that is what he is doing. Prahasanniva bharata. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sex god for the good of the sages. Hare Krishna. So, Lord's eyebrows are manifested by his internal potency. क्या करेगा वो? It charms the sex god. तो काम से प्रभावित नहीं होना हो तो भगवान का भ्रुवो, ओके, आईब्रोस का दर्शन करना है. $32. Then, with devotion steeped in love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Vishnu. The laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see small teeth which resemble jasmine buds, rendered rosy by the splendor of his lips. Once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. ओके, तो क्या होता है, उनका लिप्स जो है बिंबा, क्या है वो श्लोका कौन सा है दामोदर अष्टकम में बिंबा आता है ना. तो क्या होता है, जब भगवान का दांत जब ओपन करते हैं वो वाइट है बाहर, उनका लिप्स जो है बिंबा फ्रूट, ओके, उसका वो करके वो रेड टिंज आ जाता है. सो एक बार अगर डिवोटी ऐसे ये दर्शन करेगा, सो अगर वंस डिवोटिंग इज माइंड टू दिस, ये सारा चीज को अगर हमारा मन लगा दिया, ठीक है, भगवान का ये दर्शन करने में, द योगी शुड नो लॉन्गर डिजायर टू सी एनीथिंग एल्स, और कुछ देखने का मन नहीं करेगा. हरे कृष्ण. सो स्पेशली the eyes, our eyes anchor for seeing beautiful things. So that is why when we attend Mangalarti, okay, because when we are in the Mangalarti, everything is happening. We are, for the years, the transcendental sound is going on, Okay, the Sankirtan is happening, and for the eyes, the focus is on the Lord. And with tongue, we are chanting the glories of the Lord. Okay, then holding the devotee's hands, we are dancing, similarly smelling the flowers. So all the five senses are engaged. That is why in the morning program, when we do the morning program, it acts like a kavacha. Then what happens? The yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. So then we get saturated by Krishna consciousness by the morning program. Okay. By following this course, the yogi gradually develops pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. In the course of his progress in devotional service, the hairs on his body stand erect through excessive joy, and he is constantly bathed in a stream of tears occasioned by intense love. Gradually, even the mind which he used as a means to attract the Lord, as one attracts a fish to a hook, withdraws from material activity. Okay? By following this course, ये पूरा कोर्स फॉलो करना होगा. क्या होगा? The yogi gradually develops pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. यस, कुछ प्रश्न?
Into the value and our mind and senses are very distracted every time. And whenever we come to temple or maybe in the home also, we worship the deity. Sometimes we take it for granted. Many times we take all the things for granted. It's there with me, and it will be there with me. How to go away from this conception of mind, taking it everything from granted.
One thing we have to say, we have to always, that is why in Ishopanishad it is told, we have to always see both. We have to see Vidya, Avidya. Vidya means, real Vidya means spiritual knowledge. Avidya means the material thing. Both are required. Material thing is required for the maintenance of the body. But when we are taking pleasure from Vidya, practicing, actually Vidya, Jnana and Dharma, Krishna defines in Shloka 1, 2 and 3 of 9th chapter. And 3 is synonymous with Bhakti. So when we are practicing this Vidya, this Bhakti, and when we are taking pleasure, okay, so then when we are getting that rasa from this practice of bhakti, we have to intensely practice and increase it. Whenever we get opportunity to practice intensely, we have to practice it intensely. Then we get that pleasure, high pleasure, means jitna agar aapko ras milega, फिर when you are trying to go away from bhakti or means doing material things, then you will understand that actually there is no rasa here. Okay. Maybe I took it for granted, that thing, that is why I missed some opportunities to do service. I did some mistakes because of which I lost that rasa, that pleasure, because of which I came here. The soul itself came from spiritual world. So again, when we are experiencing that pleasure in devotional service, and we are not experiencing that pleasure in material world, rather we are experiencing all the threefold miseries, then we have to understand how this is very important. Like for example, when you have an iPhone, you are using it for so many purposes, and you are not realizing it, how it is very important. But one day you lose it, then whole day you are searching for it, and in the mind it is coming everywhere, maybe here, maybe there, maybe here, maybe there. But once you get it, then from that time onwards, how you will keep it with you? But you will get that thing that is important only when you have used it for all the purposes. You have experienced it for how many services, how much it is helping you. But if you have never used, an iPhone or a normal 5000 phone is both are same, you will not understand the value of it. So that is why we have to experience that rasa in bhakti. And we can experience it when you take association of those who have that rasa, the taste for devotional service. I have little understanding. I have to also apply. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.